think we're good. What's up, everyone? How you doing? Not Sunday. Happy Monday, July 31st. How's everybody doing? Take those off for now. Wait for everybody to chime in here and make sure that everybody can see me and hear me okay. I am sitting here eating dinner. Hey, Jim Dabrowski, thanks. I am sitting here eating some Big Al Stromboli. If you're in Manistee, I highly recommend you stop into Big Al's Pizza and Subs. Their Stromboli, their pizza, their subs, everything is good. So, hey, Patrick Johan, how you doing from GRC? Good to see you, man. Craig Rao, Dan Canham, good to see you. Yeah, so I'm actually eating my dinner. Ken, Mark, good to see you guys. Steve Grossvenner. Man, I probably screwed that up. Mark, I was sorry to see about that tree that fell in your, fell either on your shed or your backyard or something like that. I was sorry to see that, man. Pat Allen, good to see you, man. Just jumped up to almost 100 people like within a minute, so I appreciate that. So yeah, you're catching me eating my dinner. I am eating some Big Al's Stromboli. Like I said, if you're in Manistee, stop into Big Al's. I don't get anything out of this plug. It's just good. It's just, you know what? I get asked, hold on. I gotta put that away. Big Al's. I gotta put that away. I'm gonna be sitting here eating it the whole night in front of you guys. So I don't need to do that. Hey, David, how you doing? I get this question pretty often on the boat, so I'm going to answer it right now. Where's a good place to eat here in Manistee? So I ask people, do you want breakfast or do you want lunch? Because there's two of my favorite places, and they're both right here next to my boat. One is Diner 31. If you want breakfast, and their lunch is good too, but if you want breakfast, there's no better breakfast around than right here. I mean, it's right here at the entrance to our marina at Pier 31. It's called Diner 31. I think there's still a sign out there that says Captain's Cafe. But it is right there. One of my favorite things to do is get done fishing, clean up the fish, clean up the boat, and I'll go up there and just have a monster breakfast. Way too much, probably. But all of their food is really good. If you want lunch, I highly recommend you go to Chapo's North Side, which is you go out of the marina, you make a left, go down maybe not even a half mile probably, and it's right there on the right side at the railroad tracks. Chapo's will cook your fish for you. If you're in town and you want some fresh fish, you got fish that you just caught, stop into Chapo's. They'll cook it up for like $2 or $3 a person. They'll sell you sides like fries, whatever. But their burgers in Chapo's, the best burger I've ever had in a restaurant. My wife makes better burgers, I'll say that right now. But she makes really good anything. But if you want like the best burger you can get anywhere, go into Chapo's, order the half pounder. They hand pack it. It's all fresh. You can get whatever you want on the darn thing. I mean, the thing will come out that tall if you want it to. Onion rings. Their wings are really good. Their onion petals are really good with the boom boom sauce. All really, really good. There's a few places in Manistee here you can get some really good food. So like Chapo's, lunch, dinner, Diner 31, breakfast for me. Those are my places. Anyway, I get that question a lot on the boat. Of course, the customers are hungry at the end of the day. They want to eat. Those are the two places I highly recommend. Yeah, Richard, got to prop the wife. Yeah, no, my wife is a super cook. Um, you know, anything she makes is amazing. I keep telling her she should do a YouTube channel with her cooking because anything she makes, she can make anything good. Like just basic spaghetti, it comes out so good. So anyway, enough talk on food. Let's get into the fishing report and stuff like that. Steve Grossvenner, I don't know if I'm saying your last name right, man, but Thanks. Larry Chastain. Larry Chastain just had a trip with us yesterday. Larry was the winner from last year's charter giveaway, and he came out yesterday, just a couple people, and Larry and Mary, and easy to remember. And we had a great time. Fishing was not great for us. We had 4 fish on, I think, just 4 bites, 4 fish, and but we had a really really fun day. Simple Believer just sent me a super chat. Thanks for that. First off, thank you very much for the support of the channel. You sent me a question saying something about your drag is too tight, you're losing fish. Yeah, drags can be a definite issue on why you might be losing fish. If it's too loose, they get too much slack or too much room to run, and definitely, if you send me a super chat, I'm gonna try to answer your question, of course. But yeah, if too loose, and you're gonna get too much play on the fish. Too tight, of course, you can pull the hooks. Uh, Really, if you just get a good medium drag set, one where you can, while you're fighting the fish, if you just take the line and you can pull it out fairly easily, but the fish cannot, that's a really good place to start, and you can adjust from there. But technique on fighting the fish is really important on how you fight the fish. If you could just steadily drag, reel a fish in, that's a great way to do it. A lot of people want to pump the fish, but if you can just steadily reel the fish, you're going to keep constant pressure on that fish, and when he takes a run, you're going to be able to let him take that run and control him that way. But if you are going to pump the fish, and by pumping the fish, I mean you're not going to reel. You're just going to pull back on the rod till it's about straight up in the air. Then as you go lean the rod forward, you reel as you go down. You want the same exact pressure when you're pulling the rod back as when you're going down. So you actually want to keep pressure on that fish as you're reeling down. A lot of people that I see when they lose fish, it's because they drop that rod way too fast, and there's 2 or 3 feet of slack in that line, and that fish will come off just like that. So really good pressure, pump back, reel down, keep pressure. Salmon are not a sprint. They're big fish, they are strong fish, and you want to let them tire themselves out. We get people on here all the time. I'm kind of going off on this tangent, but that was a good question. We get people all the time on here that want to just rip them in like they're a 2-pound bass, and you're not going to do that. They're gonna take a big run on you. A big fish is going to take a nice run on you to start. They're going to pull drag. Let them do what they want. Just keep pressure on them. Keep a bend in the rod. They're going to stop normally for a little while. They're going to sit there. They're going to regain some strength. You can start bringing them in a little then, but normally those big fish are going to take that second run. This happened today on a couple big fish that we had on a trip. They're going to take that second run. Let them take that second run. Keep pressure on. And normally after that second run, you're going to be able to start working that fish in. All right. That was kind of a long-winded answer to that, but it was a good question. Well, for the super chat, definitely, I want to make sure I answer that for you. Thank you, though, for that super chat. All right. Yeah, anyway, Larry won the charter from last year. He was out on the boat yesterday. If you want to get on that free charter giveaway, join the Tangle Tackle Army. The link is right down below, or support us on Patreon, and your name gets thrown in the drawing for that free charter giveaway. Or, yeah, you come out with us on a free charter. I draw that name out December 31st every year. And, yeah, we had a lot of fun. We didn't catch a lot of fish, but we had a lot of fun. Good company, and that's what it's all about. So anyway, let's get into this tonight's fishing report. Tonight I'm going to talk, I don't really have a topic of the week, but I am going to go over some of my favorite plugs, because plug fishing is like here. If you're not throwing plugs out yet, you probably should be. So we're going to talk about some of my favorite plugs. We're going to talk about some of the things that have been working for us. We'll talk about anything you guys want to working about. Anything you guys want to talking about. I just read a comment that says working, and my brain says working. But I want to throw this out there first. If you are like me, and you have been looking for a good shoe to wear on your boat, I've gone every route you can. I've got Skechers. What else do I got? I've got Crocs. I've got a pair of hook shoes that I've worn. I've got other Skechers that I've worn. I got regular tennis shoes. You name it. I've been trying to find like the ultimate fishing shoe for a long time. And for a long time, I kept putting off buying this pair of shoes. And you guys and gals might already have these. You might already be guessing what I'm going to go with. But I thought they were not good looking. I thought they looked incredibly uncomfortable. I thought they looked hot. I thought they looked heavy. And then I bought a pair because a couple of my mates wear them, and I'm in love with these things. Grundon's Deck Boss shoes. If you are looking for a really good, comfortable, waterproof shoe, and that's what I love about this thing. It's waterproof. So when I'm scrubbing the deck down or cleaning fish at the end of the day, my feet stay dry, my socks stay dry. Comfortable though. I didn't think that thing would be comfortable. Really good lugs on there. Neoprene uppers on that, like you can see there. Big lug on the back so you can take your toe and flip that thing off at the end of the day. But I thought this thing would just be like wearing a brick. And I was still surprised every day I wear these, how comfortable they are. They got really good comfort. I mean, just squishy. They're nice and squishy. I don't know about arch support. I don't think that's, you're not going to find a whole lot of arch support in there. I'm not a shoe guru in any way. I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to that. But those shoes are good. If you're looking for a pair of really good, waterproof, keep your feet dry, keep your feet comfortable shoes, look up Grundon's Deck Boss. They were just having a sale. They were like 50% off for a while. They might still be going on. Hey, Steve Steele, how you doing, man? But if you're looking for a pair, I recommend those. All right. Fishing report. We'll talk about some plugs, and then question and answer, whatever you guys and gals want. Fishing report around here. It's either you're on them or you're not. The last couple of days, we have not been on them. We have not been getting crazy bit. Some other captains have. We've been getting like 3, 4, 5 fish a trip the last couple of days. I'm just being bluntly honest with you. Other captains have been coming in with 10 to 12 fish. Other captains are coming in with 0 to 1 fish. So we've been right in the middle. And it seems like in the morning, either you're right on them or you're not. You're in the middle of them someplace. This morning, I was I was fishing down, and we started in like the 10s, the 11s or the 10s. We trolled down to about the 8s, and then I trolled back. Should have kept going south, I think. There was some decent fish down that way. But other boats I talked to, they set right up on them, and bang, 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 bang. They got 5 or 6 fish in the box within the first half hour. And it seems like the bite has just been absolutely dying after the first hour 20 minutes. It's just gone. You might, if you're not on top of them, you might get 1 or 2 more bites in the rest of the day. But a lot of boats out there are getting absolute donut hole bites for the rest of the day because they're just not right on them right now. We just do not have the horde of fish in this area just yet. There's no doubt they're coming. There's absolutely no doubt they're coming. The fish that we picked up over the last couple of days are nice, big, healthy adult fish. Low 20s, high teen fish. But the big horde of them, they're just not here yet. Unless you happen to sit down on a nice little pot of them, which some boats did. So what I'm trying to tell you is I don't have anything set in stone right now. If I was going out tomorrow, I'm not. I actually have a day off tomorrow. But if I was, man, it'd be a tough choice on where exactly I'd want to go. I know some people got them right out front of Manistee in the 15s and the 14s. Some guys got a few in the 12s. Some guys got a few in the 8s. Some guys got a few up in the 20s and the 22s. Some guys got a few down by the stick. But they seem to be still scattered out pretty much. That north wind that we had, I know every time I touch this table, it jiggles it pretty bad. That north wind that we had just a couple days ago really cooled the water down. We had a temperature break, 50-degree water and below. That break was coming at like 75 feet just a couple days ago. And now it's at, well, we found totally different water. Right out in front of Manistee, we found the temp break at about 50 feet. But down towards the 7s and the 8s and the 9s, we found it at about 35 feet, 40 feet. So a lot of different water moving around right now. The cold water coming through, you get that unstable water where they're hitting cold pockets, hot pockets, cold pockets, hot pockets, and they're just not setting up in any one spot right now. I think the fish are moving a lot. So if you're lucky enough to set up on them, hey, good for you. You're going to get a good bite. One thing I will say that has been consistent for us, whether we're getting 10 or 12 fish or we're getting 4 or 5 fish, this new fly, I've talked about this before, that new KRW HT blue green dolphin fly has taken at least one bite, if not multiple bites for us every day. And today was true. It took 2 bites for us today. One was on the center downrigger, and that's been the other consistent for us. That center downrigger with the mercury falling from Beckold. This is the 8-inch, but the 11-inch mercury falling, either in the white or the black blade like this one. I don't have one right in front of me. Hey, Bradley Groth, how you doing, man? I don't have one right in front of me, but that thing with that new fly, that has been consistent for us as well. But that fly also on divers, just a few different rotators. That Pro Troll 2-Face Glow has been still going. I'm trying to think what else. I'd like a Dragon Slayer went today. I think it was a Dragon Slayer. I can't really remember. But really, that fly I think has been the key. So if you don't have that mercury falling from Beckold, I would highly recommend that you get it. You can see that on one side is a moon jelly, non-glow, and then the other side is a white slick with a moon jelly ladder. That thing it's been good, been really good. If you don't have it, get it. That's been our most consistent. That fly with the rotators. The other things that have been working on it for us, but other boats as well. Spoons still seem to be dominating right now, but I have no doubt that any day plugs are going to start really wailing on them. Meat, some people have been getting them on meat. I ran some meat today on two rigs, and I did not get bid on it, but other boats have been getting bid on meat. So I have no doubt that meat's going to start producing as well here in the very near future, as well as plugs. But don't be afraid to keep running spoons. Spoons are always good. Spoons are really, really good. I have found that normally later in this time of the year, you seem to get more. The bigger fish on the plugs and the meat, but spoons are still going to catch fish for you. There's no doubt about it. Some of my more consistent, there we go, jiggling table. Some of my more consistent spoons lately have been the Dancing Anchovy, whether it be Dreamweaver or Moonshine, the green jeans, the blue jeans, the green flounder for Moonshine. What else has been going? The Bloody Nose, whether it be Dreamweaver or Moonshine, has been good. Wonder Bread, Dreamweaver or Moonshine. All those have been pretty solid. I mean, not solid, but have been producing more bites than other spoons right now. Still running some Super Slims, no doubt about it. I'll run Dreamweaver Super Slims throughout the entire year, but I am running a lot of mag spoons right now as well. So I had a question in an email. Somebody asked me, if they're running meat, what do you do with the rest of your spread? Because I think there's a misnomer that if you're running meat, you have to run it absolutely super, super, super slow, and you can't run anything else with it. Well, we get bid on meat, even when we're running our spoon spread or plug spread at say 2.3 to 2.4, even 2.5 miles an hour. We'll run meat in those speeds as well, and we'll still get bid on it. So don't think just because you throw some meat out there, you got to creep it right down and you maybe kill your spoon action. You can still run it at 2.0 to 2.2, 2.2, 2.3, 2.4. You can still do just fine on it. 2.5 even. So yeah. Chad Douglas, do I ever run a spoon with a flasher? I have not, but I've talked to people that have. Yes, you can definitely run a spoon with a flasher. Just make sure to put a big lead on it, like a 5 to 6 foot lead. Otherwise, that flasher is going to kill your spoon action. Yep, very common question, but a good question. I'm trying to think what else I got for you as far as the fishing report goes. I guess looking forward, I have no doubt that fishing is just going to explode here one of these days. It's just going to happen. We're going to go out here one of these mornings, and I got tomorrow off, and then I got like 7 in a row, then maybe a day off, then like 10 in a row. Sometime in that next 7 days, as long as the lake doesn't just completely booger up, completely flip over, and Kings run up the river, if we get a nice temp break setting back up, say 40 to 60 feet, I'd say sometime in the next 7 days, we're going to have some really good fishing start to take off. it may hold for the rest of the month of August. We might get a couple slow days, but it's going to happen. The horde's coming. No doubt about it. It's coming. And when it gets here, judging on what I've seen throughout other parts of this state, as well as Wisconsin, up in the Straits, from what I've seen on those reports, we're going to have just some bonsai fishing here pretty darn soon. So looking forward to that. I hope everybody's out there and they're whaling on them as well. So that's your fishing report. If you got any questions, please put it down below in the comments. If you have a report for your area, I've seen comments coming through. It looks like some other people were putting some reports through as well. Hey, put your reports in there. That's what this place is all about. That's what I also want to mention this. If you do join the Tangle Tackle Army with the link down below, you get access to our private Discord page. That Discord page is fantastic. I'm seeing so many people make connections in there for networking, information sharing, selling your gear, recipes. We have things for Wisconsin, Michigan, you name it, the Bay, walleye. If you want to join that up and join in that information, links down below. Join the Tangle Tackle Army. We'd love to have you there. If you do join, you got to email me though, christangletackle@gmail.com or darkbluecharters@gmail.com. I will send you a link to that Discord. But you got to be a member of the Patreon Captain tier or the Tangle Tackle Army. Make sure to email me so I can get you that link. My voice sounds awful. Man, I need to get more sleep. All right, let's talk about some plugs. I'm going to go over some of my absolute favorite plugs for this time of the year. Ones I think you should have. You might be able to get away with just a couple of these, to be honest with you. They're that darn good. But I'll go over, some of my favorites, and I'm sure some of your favorites as well. Man, I grabbed a whole bunch of them. I grabbed probably too many. I don't have one of my absolute favorites here. I couldn't find one. I'm surprised. I got like a million of them. The Double Glow, the Dreamweaver Double Glow plug, or the Silver Horde Ace High Double Glow plug. Fantastic plug. What's really cool about that plug is you can run it in the morning. You can leave it out all day long. And you're still going to get bit on that thing if there's active kings around. The other cool thing about that plug is because it's just I don't even have anything that looks like it. It's just a pure white plug, and it just glows. You can take your Sharpies. I wish I had one around it. You can take your Sharpies, and you can go to town on that thing, and you can make whatever design you want on it. I know I do that. I know plenty of other captains as well. They go to the arts and crafts store, get Sharpies or paint markers or whatever, and they will doctor up those double glow plugs. They come out really slick. So it's something you can do, make it your own. You can write bad words on there. I've seen that done plenty of times also. But whatever you want. Double Glow, absolute must-have. Dreamweaver is a great one. Ace High is a great one from Silver Horde. You're going to catch fish. These are going to be in no particular order, but I will say this is if I don't have this, I'm crying. But that Ace High White Lightning has been really good around here for the last several years. Now there's two different White Lightnings. One is the UV White Lightning, like you're looking at right there. The other one is a chrome White Lightning, which where the UV is in here, instead of that, you're going to see chrome. And it's going to say on the back, I'm pretty sure it's going to say chrome or UV. This one says Super Pearl UV Glow White Lightning. You want the UV, not the chrome. That chrome, I've run it. I've never caught a fish on it. And other people have told me the same thing. So, Double Glow White Lightning, good plug. I mean, you can get away with those two plugs right there. If you don't want any other plugs, get some of those, double chrome or Double Glow White Lightning. You're going to be fine with those two right there. But I'll give you a bunch of other options as well. Starting with, green and blue splatterback are absolute staples around here. These things have been around. You're going to notice I'm showing you all Silver Horde Ace High. That is my #1 plug this time of the year. That Silver Horde Ace High, you can see, has a connected hook harness right there versus the Silver Horde J-plug style, which has a bead chain instead. So my preferred plug this time of the year is the Silver Horde Ace High. I do run some of the others, but that's the #1 plug I'm running. Anyway, the green splatterback and the blue splatterback, absolute staples around here. You should have them. The other cool thing about those two plugs, that's the glow. They also come in a UV splatter back. So you got the green splatter and you glow, and you got the green splatter UV. And you can see the difference there as I rotated them around. I highly recommend having both, because there's days that I can't get the glow to go and the UV will just take off on me. So I highly recommend getting both. Here's a blue splatter back also in the UV. I mean, that thing is nice looking. Oh, so you get an idea on the splatter backs, UV and glow. I showed you the white lightning already. UV, that is the black lightning UV. That's another really good one. So I highly recommend you grab a couple of those if they're in your area. There's, again, you're going to do really well with just that one. The black lightning, though, is a really good one as well. Mother of Pearl. Mother of Pearl is another one around here that there's some guys that's all they run, just Mother of Pearl. And the Mother of Pearl pattern is that what you see right there on top of that. It just looks like an oyster pearl, and it normally has some muted colors, some greens and some purples and some blues in there. That Mother of Pearl, just a straight Mother of Pearl plug, or some of the doctored ones like this. I really like this one with the cop car prism on the side. What is this one called? They got names on these things. They're like reading foreign language. Ace High with rattle UV Mother of Pearl. All right, pretty straightforward, I guess. That one I highly recommend as well. Mother of Pearls are always good. That one right there is my #1 late season plug. When you get a lot of big kings coming up staging in the pier heads, and you're starting to get coho around as well out in the deeper water, you'll get nailed. We won a tournament on that plug right there one year. We caught it was day 2 Manistee tournament, and we didn't win the tournament. Let me back that up. We knew at least one more really big fish or a couple of decent fish. We were sitting in 2nd place overall for the whole year, points wise. And we know we needed at least one big one or a couple decent ones to hang on to that 2nd place point standing. We knew we weren't going to catch the #1 guys. They were way too far out. But we're fishing the pier heads on that, I think it was the Manistee Monster. And we're making a couple late passes in the day. And that plug right there took I think it was a 27 or 28 pounder for us, and that thing sealed the deal for us. Ended up winning 2nd place overall for the entire year. Took home a nice check. So I owe a lot to that plug right there. But I'm serious, late in the season, that is my #1 go-to plug, because coho, when the big kings are up and done on the river, coho will smuck that thing all day long. What do they call this thing? Blah, my eyes. They're getting bad. Super Pearl, UV glow stripe Mother Pearl. How they come up with that? I call it the Skittles plug, because it looks like a rainbow, and they love to taste the rainbow. So that's my nickname for that plug. We owe that plug some money. And Lucky Charms. Can't do a plug video without talking about Lucky Charm. That is the Lucky Charm in the UV, but they also have a Lucky Charm glow. Both of them are super good. I like the UV a little bit better. You can kind of see a pattern with me, maybe. UV, 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 UV. Yeah, a little pattern there. UV. I really like the UVs. And then around the pier heads, you got to have this one when it's late in the game and you got kings around the pier heads. You got to have a chrome red nose. And what is the actual name on this thing? This is the silver redhead. There you go, silver redhead. Got to have that thing around the pier heads. Rattle, rattle. There you go. Those are some of my absolute favorite plugs. Again, you could probably get away with just a couple different variations of these. But if you want to have a nice arsenal of them, those are ones you can go with right there. They're all pretty good. Do I run plugs on divers? Somebody just asked me if I run plugs on divers. Yes, absolutely. You can run plugs on divers. Sure you can. You can run anything you want on a diver. Spoons, plugs, anything you want. Somebody's saying something about Hugh. What's going on with Hugh? Is Hugh on here talking about, is he catching fish? What are you doing, Hugh? Repost whatever you're doing so I can see it. TJC Construction. Oh my God. How you doing, man? Good to see you. Thanks for being on here. What's up? Back to you. All right. Guys, gals, that's really all I got for this week. You know what I get to go do right now? I get to haul the old pooper pumper down here, the old hand crank pooper pumper. I get to connect it to my waste tank, and I get to pump out the sludge out of my boat. If that sounds fun to you, you're welcome to come down here and help me out. It's a rocking good time, let me tell you. That's Hugh got an 18 pounder. Congratulations, Hugh. Good job, man. Yeah, cool, Hugh. Your boy, and you just got a nice 18 pounder. Congratulations, man. Good job. Hugh's a good fisherman. I have no doubt that he'll catch a few more too. Bigger flashers with plugs. No, I normally don't run flashers with plugs. Somebody asked if I run divers with plugs. Yeah, I'll run divers with plugs, but I don't put flashers in front of them. So I know some people that do, but yeah, I do not. TD Schlad, you say you'd come down and help me out. Oh, hey, also, somebody threw a package of walleye in my dock freezer. You know who you are. I'm not gonna say your name out here because you're probably too modest. But thank you. Yeah, I even talked to you today. You stopped down to the dock. That was nice to see you and talk to you again. Always good to see you. So thank you though for that bag of walleye. If you ever got an extra bag of walleye and you want to throw it in my dock freezer, it's right there behind the boat with dark blue charter sticker on there. You feel free to throw some walleye in there anytime you want. All right, somebody just asked about KRW hooks, and that's a great question. I love KRW flies, love them, but that thing on there, that is a number 2 Eagle Claw, not my favorite hook. And I've said this to the owner before, and he knows that. And I give them crap all the time about it. They'll hold a fish. There's no doubt about it, but they don't hold a point really well. And there's better hooks out there. I replaced most of my hooks on the KRW flies. Just being honest again. I use VMC Spark Point hooks, and you can't find them anymore. They're sold out everywhere. They quit making them. I don't know why they quit making them. Best hook I've ever used. Other captains have said that as well. And for whatever reason, VMC just quit making the Spark Point 2X Strongs, or 4X Strongs, I think. Really good other replacements. I mean, can't go wrong with Gamakatsu, Owner. Those are good hooks as well. You know, the round bend short shanks are just fine, or you can even go with the regular shank on those also. But be very careful. I mean, you can replace a number 2 hook with a number 2 hook on a fly. It's no problem. You can even replace it with a number 1 hook. You're still going to be fine. If you're running meat, you can run a number 1 or number 2 hook also. You're going to be fine. But if you start replacing hooks on spoons, if you start replacing hooks on spoons, you're going to find that you're going to get different action on these things. There's one of my favorite spoons, of course, of all time, that Dreamweaver Super Slim Glow Frog White Belly. If you start throwing heavier spoons on, or even lighter spoons, you can really change up that action. So be very, very careful. That's a good question, though, whoever threw that out there about hooks. Number 2s or number 1s are what I use on flies. The same on meat. What else you got? Oh, there we go, bumping the table. What's my best rod to run a plug on? Oh, man, that's a good question. There's no favorite, but I love them on downriggers. Love them early in the morning on downriggers, especially like a double glow. They're fantastic, but I'll put them out on long lines all day long as well. They'll swim out there all day long on my long lines. Excuse me. Pardon me. Andy Mays got your personal best steelhead yesterday while watching my live stream. You're about 3/4 mile away from me. Man, that's cool. Congratulations, Andy. That's great. I always like to hear stuff like that. I'm sure my luck didn't bring it to you. It's something you were doing for sure. All right, We got 160 people or so on here. We got 51 thumbs up. Thank you for that. Don't forget to like and sub if you can. Share these videos. That helps also. 52 thumbs up. That does definitely help the channel. If anybody else wants to throw some out there, that also helps the channel. And I got a $20 super chat today. Thank you so much for the person that did that. I already forgot your name, and I feel awful about that. But so many comments come through. But I was happy that I was able to see your comment and get that read back, or get that answered for you, hopefully. Anyway, let's wrap this up real quick. If anybody else has any more questions or anything, throw them out there right now. I'll stick around as long as we have questions coming in. But if it starts winding down, we'll get out of here. It's Monday. Go, what are you doing Mondays now that football's over? How's the water fleas? They're good. Not bad around here at all. At all. Larry Chastain, thanks for the thumbs up. Also, the other person just above you, thank you for that also. Craig Rao, thank you. There, thanks, guys. Appreciate all those thumbs up. Somebody said Mondays are better than Sundays. Sundays seem to be the favorite around here, though. You're welcome, Bill Gerlach. Happy to be here. You're welcome, Kirk Filippo. Again, if you want to join the Tangle Tackle Army and get into our private Discord, links down below. We're happy to have you along. Do I use EWG treble hooks? Never have. Nope, never have. The funny thing about hooks is, I don't mean to go off on this road again. You need a strong hook, which normally means a little bit thicker weld, shank, bend, all those things to make it a little beefier hook. Of course, if you make it thicker, you might lose a little bit of the point. And there's sometimes hooks are so incredibly sharp, they're almost too sharp, because that thing will get into a fish's jaw and rotate around, and if it doesn't have a good barb on there and it's just digging a hole out, eventually that king is probably, or whatever fish it is, probably going to get the right angle on you and pull it right out. Thanks, Jim Dabrowski, for the thumbs up also. You also, Steve Steele. All right. Looks like comments are winding down. Let's get out of here. We'll do this again next Sunday. Oh, next Sunday I got a little special treat for you. We were going to do it yesterday, but time constraints didn't allow me to do it. But Scott Argensinger and I have been talking. We want to get together again. So I'm planning on going down to Dreamweaver Lures next Sunday. And I got to remind you guys, all these live streams are proudly brought to you by Dreamweaver Lures. Check them out at dreamweaverlures.com. But Scott and I are going to get together next Sunday night down at Dreamweaver. We're going to go over August tactics, some of the things that we like to do, some of the things that we know other boats like to do. If I can find maybe another captain to bring in, maybe we'll do that also. But definitely Scott and I are going to get together. Now I know everybody on here loves Scott. He is a fan favorite on here without a doubt. Scott is a real good guy, real good fisherman. If you ever see Scott out and about, make sure you ask him for an autograph. He loves that kind of thing. Maybe not. But, yeah, if you see him, though, definitely ask him for an autograph. He'll love it. He'll get a chuckle out of it. Just say it's from me. Anyway, that's coming next Sunday. Scott and I are going to get together down at Dreamweaver. It'll be fun. All right, let's pop smoke. Let's get out of here. Take care, everybody. Be safe. Be courteous on the water. Watch out for your fellow neighbors out there. Let's not be crossing lines, running into one another. My God, I saw a video of a sailboat almost taking a fishing boat out the other day. It was awful. Those things don't need to happen. Don't let your 5-year-old drive the boat, then yell at them when they can't do a good job, because you know that's not their fault. It's probably yours. Anyway, be courteous. Be safe. We'll see you guys next week.